Hey, welcome back to Tea Time with Tangi, and today's topic is 5 things to know about the non-immigrant status, which is a U visa application. Before I get into the tea of immigration, let's talk about today's tea that I'm drinking. It is lemon ginger, organic lemon ginger. It's caffeine free, and it supports the healthy digestion. Now, I'm not a big ginger fan, but I'm all about trying to be healthy. So I have my ginger tea here. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. I even put some honey in there, like some organic honey. I ain't feeling it. I'm sorry. I'm about to find a different tea. Again, if you guys could please drop some comments below about what kind of tea you like so I can try them because I'm a big tea drinker. That would be great. But this lemon ginger tea, so we're going to drink this. I had a cup of side of water. A cup of water. A cup of water over here because I didn't know if I was going to like that or not. And it ain't working for me. So anyways, okay, so let's go ahead and just get into today's topic. And I'm trying something new too with this whole presentation thing. So I thought maybe, having a visual and hearing me talk would be a little bit more entertaining. I'm just all new with this whole YouTube thing, and I do things on my own. So let's see how this goes. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the topic. Make sure that you are liking, subscribing, and sharing my videos if you find the content to be useful and helpful. Maybe somebody you know may need some of this information. Okay. And then I also like to disclaim that, although I am an attorney, I definitely am not providing any legal advice in these videos. I am not creating any type of client or attorney-client relationship with anybody. This is just informational. And also with immigration, especially immigration law, things change all the time. Something could change within a month, a year, a week, hell, an hour sometimes. It seems like there's always some changes. So make sure that even though what you see on this video, that you are checking the laws to make sure that what is stated is still current, okay? Because it may have changed. So at the current moment, what I am saying is what the law is, but it could be different. So let's go ahead and talk about the 5 things to know about the U visa application. 1, you want to know what the purpose of it is. 2, we're going to talk about the benefits that you get when you are approved a U visa application. 3, you want to know who's eligible to apply for the U visa application. What are the qualifying crimes, or another thing to know about, and then what forms and documents to file for your U visa application. All right, so the purpose of the U visa application is basically that you are a non-citizen and you are a victim of a certain qualifying crime, which I will talk about a little bit later. And you have reported the crime and you're helpful with law enforcement in helping either prosecute or investigate the crime. The person doesn't have to be convicted of the crime that you report. And there may not even be charges filed. But as long as you are helping law enforcement, then that is what is the purpose, okay, of filing the U visa application. There is approximately about a 5-year waiting period. They take a very long time. I won't lie to you. It's a long process. And they only offer 10,000 visas per year. So there is a cap. So if you were to get approved, you'd be put on a waiting list if that cap had already been reached that year. But what is great to know now is that they've just implemented a new policy, which is called the bona fide determination policy. Before they had this new policy, what used to happen is you would file your U visa application and you would hear nothing. it would be silence, crickets. I mean, like it, unless you get like a request for evidence or something. But I mean, you would be waiting forever with nothing. You don't have the ability to work. You're still, potentially undocumented. Still potentially facing removal. So there was just really nothing. There was really no incentive other than you have the ability down the road 5 years from now to have the ability to work and get deferred action. And deferred action is just, you know, not having you put in removal for being undocumented in the U.S. illegally. Okay. So, but now with this new policy, basically what is happening is that they're looking at cases and they're doing an initial review and saying, okay, let's take a look and see if this person filed a bona fide application, meaning they filed it in good faith. There's no deceit. There's no fraud involved. This is a legit U visa application. And this person doesn't pose a national security threat. There's no public safety with this person. So let's go ahead and say that this is a potentially a bona fide application. So what we're going to do is we're going to grant this person the right to work and deferred action. So that's what this bona fide determination policy is. It's an initial review while you're waiting these 5 years that allows you the ability to work and have deferred action. And so you would be issued a employment authorization document, which is a EAD card, which again allows you to work. And then you would you could have deferred action, and you'll receive a final approval notice when a visa becomes available. So while your case is still pending, though, they're still going to be undergoing background checks on you. They're going to still be doing security checks on you during that 5-year period. And then after, you get to the point where they're going to approve your case, then that's when you would get approved your U visa status application. And I'll talk about the benefits of that, of getting approved in a little bit. But if you don't meet the bona fide determination, this initial review that they have now, then basically what's going to happen is you're going to be waiting for the full determination process. And you won't be issued an EAD card or deferred action. So that means you're going to be basically like it is now, just waiting 5 years before anything happens. So in that initial review, this new policy allows you to at least be working and not be in fear of being removed from the U.S. As long as you're, like I said, you're not committing crimes, they're doing background checks on you and all that stuff. Okay. So that's the benefit right now of the U visa application, or not the benefit, but the purpose of the U visa application to, help victims of qualifying crimes, be able to have some type of humanitarian relief. Okay. All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about the benefits once you've been approved your visa application. You have lawful status and work authorization for up to 4 years. You have derivative benefits for qualifying family members. So there are certain family members that you can add to your application that can also receive the same benefits as you. And so you would want to probably reach out to an immigration attorney to find out who those qualifying family members are. And if they, because you're going to have like some kind of consult to see if that family member is qualifying. And then the eligibility, one of the very beneficial benefits is that you have the eligibility to adjust status to a lawful permanent resident after 3 years of being under the U visa status. So that means you have a pathway to have a green card after 3 years of having a U visa status. And then eventually down the road, you can apply for citizenship. So, I mean, it's really such a beneficial resource or immigration benefit for someone who's been victimized in Arizona. That's where I'm at, in the U.S. Sorry, guys. I wish I could drink some tea here, but that tea is nasty. Okay, so that's what happens when you get approved. All right, so the eligibility requirements for filing a U visa application. You have to be a non-citizen victim of a qualifying crime that either occurred in the U.S. or violated some U.S. law. Again, I will talk about the qualifying crimes in a little bit. You had to have suffered substantial physical and mental abuse that stems from the crime committed against you. And that, again, this could be, reports from, going to counseling, or, you were like, beat or whatever. And there's hospital records of the physical abuse. Those are some things that you could, provide to show that you suffered substantial physical or mental abuse. You also have to have information about the crime. You have to report it to law enforcement, and you have or you currently cooperated with the law enforcement that assisted with investigating or prosecuting the crime. And lastly, you are the principal petitioner, and the principal petitioner can apply, or certain qualifying family members can apply for a derivative U visa based on the relationship. So I mentioned that a little bit earlier. Okay. And then these are some of the qualifying crimes. I'm not going to read all of these, but as you can see, you have, abduction, you have abusive sexual contact, you have domestic violence, there's kidnapping, murder, prostitution, sexual assault, human trafficking. There's a whole list of crimes on here that are qualifying crimes. So you're going to want to make sure when you're applying for a U visa application that you're looking at those qualifying crimes to make sure that you, in fact, can apply for the application based on the crime that was committed against you. Okay. And then the forms and the documents that you want to file, there's no fees for the form. So it's the form I-918, that's the petition itself. And then you have the I-918 Supplemental A form, that's for your qualifying family members. And then you have the I-918, which is Supplemental B. That one is a must. You have to have that. You cannot, you have to have that one filled out and signed by an authorized official, a law enforcement agency. Someone has to sign off saying that you had a qualifying crime, that you reported it, and that form will list all that stuff. And so you have to have, form I-918 and definitely I-918 sub B form. Okay. Supplement A is, again, if you're adding a family member, a qualifying family member, I should say, because you can't just add anybody. And there are no fees for those forms. This application is free to file. But then there is the form I-192. That is if you came to the U.S. Illegally, you entered without inspection, and so you want to file this waiver of inadmissibility. There is a fee for that form, but there are fee waivers that you could apply for if you qualify for a fee waiver. And that form you may need to fill out if you came here without inspection. Or entered without inspection. And then you want to make sure you're providing supporting evidence. So you're going to want to have a personal statement, police reports, medical reports, psychological, mental health reports, that kind of evidence, because again, this is all a discretionary type of review. The officers are going to be looking at all of this information and making a decision based on your application under a discretionary analysis, meaning they have the discretion to say whether or not they feel that your claims are credible and made in good faith. Okay. So basically that's the gist of the U visa applications, not much to it. So if you know someone who has been a victim of a qualifying crime, they're undocumented, and this would just be a good humanitarian relief for someone in that situation. Okay, so I try to keep it short and sweet this time, but yes. Thanks for tuning in again. Make sure that you guys are sharing, liking, subscribing to my channel so that you stay updated on what I'm posting, the content. I'm thinking my next video may be on another humanitarian relief, the human trafficking. I might talk about that. I'm not sure yet, so I'll keep you guys posted. But if you have any questions or concerns, or you want to talk a little bit more about some of these humanitarian relief benefits, please check out my bio. My contact information is in there, and you can set up a consult or a meeting, or you can just type your questions or messages in the chat, and I will answer your questions if you have any. So thanks again for tuning in. Again, like I said, I was trying something new. I don't know how this works, but hope you guys liked it. Take care.